So today I want to talk about something that's very important. One of the reasons why bodybuilding was so attractive to me was that it was the very first time in my life that my appetite was actually able to be applied to my benefit as opposed to my detriment. That makes sense. See, in the health community, we've been told that we need to eat less and move more, right? In fact, caloric restriction in studies in the laboratory has been shown to increase longevity in both rodent models and in cell cultures, right? And so the theory is that if you eat less, if you remain in a caloric deficit, you run cooler, thus prolonging the life of the organism. The only problem with that is that in a caloric deficit, what we find is that we tend to have lower testosterone, decreased ability to grow muscle mass, decreased bone health as well. And so with decreased bone density, what we're essentially doing is we're trading longevity for overall health. Does that make sense?
Oh, and I forgot to mention, the other part of that conundrum is that bone density is so important. Did you know that 33% of adults who suffer hip fractures over the age of 50 die within a year? And that risk of death is greatly increased for the next 10 years.
And I first came across this concept from Dr. Paul Saladino when he began to explain how this longevity lifestyle had so many detrimental effects on one's overall vitality, including decreased testes size for the male. Well, the cool thing is there are a bunch of new studies, and the key is G-flux for energy fluctuation. And what we discovered was that if you take two individuals and you give one individual less calories and you get them moving so that they create a deficit, versus if you take another individual and you give them an abundance of calories, at least maintenance, but you get them to move more. What we find is that the individual who eats more and moves more ends up with a better overall healthy outcome. And so, to be completely honest with you, what we've discovered so far is that the person that eats more and moves more loses more overall body fat, has a better metabolism, has greater bone density, and is overall healthier, but we can't yet prove that that person will live longer than the person who remains cold and cool and restricts his calories for the majority of his life. But as for me and my clientele, the population that I train, who are getting older and already experiencing declines in bone density and vitality and energy, I personally am going to opt for the higher calorie option and the greater movement. What are your thoughts on the matter? Like, comment, share. Talk to you guys.